Smiling morning, all of you guys. Today we are going to first understand the coding basics, then computer basics, then we will understand the DevOps basics. So we haven't understand the computer basics also, but we will teach you how to understand the computer basics. So first we will understand the coding basics. What exactly is coding? So coding basics will be only for some time, don't worry. And then we will understand computer basics. So we will go in depth about computers. Okay. So what exactly computer is? But before we talk about that, so first we'll take a lot of interaction here. Okay. So how will human talk to another human? What? Okay. Let's ask this question to Venkatramana Reddy. How will a human talk to another human?
Say
How
hi,
will
sir.
a human?
Hi, Yaptan, sir.
Hi, you will tell. But when you are talking to another human being, you are trying to talk to another human being using a language.
Yes, sir.
But in a language we all know that. But if you want to fetch information from another person, what do you do? Exactly what do you ask? You ask a question. What do you ask?
Question.
You ask a question. Remember this. So what is question is? Question is to get answer from other human being. Correct? Why you are asking question to another person is to get a data. Suppose you will ask me, okay, what course are you doing or which course you are doing? That's a question asked by a friend. What do you say? What do you say, Abhinash? If someone asks you which course are you doing, which course are you doing is what? A question. Okay.
DevOps.
You'll say DevOps. So what is DevOps? DevOps is the data. So what am I doing with this data? I'm storing in my brain. Where am I storing? Brain memory. In our memory. So humans actually communicate using a concept called question and answer. What is that? Question and answer. In coding, we use the terminology is what? Variable and data. That is the main point you have to understand the basics of humans. Human basic is that any human, suppose you are talking to mother also, your mother will ask you a question and you will answer data. So using that data, you will store in your brain. So human always do communication. You are learning coding. It's a variable. So what coding you are learning? Python. Python is a data. Now let's go a little deeper. Okay. How will human talk each other using variable and data? In human language, we call it as question and answer. In human language, what do you call? We'll say I use question. I'll get what? Data. So human always communicate with a question and answer. So using question and answer, you are storing that information in where? Brain. You're storing in the brain. So is this clear, all three of you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now the question is, we will ask you the basics first. What are the human data types, human language data types? Venkatramana Reddy, what are the human language data types? Okay, human is communicating to another human being. What are the data types of human language? Okay, I'll tell you. Human data types means if a human is talking to another human being, the human can give information in any four formats of data. What are the four formats of data? Letters, numbers, words, or decimals. Any human can give the information to another human being using what format? Letters, numbers, words, or decimals. Is this clear or not, guys? So, if you are talking to your mother, okay, you will use a word called amma. What is amma? Amma is actually a data type in human language called as word. Correct? So you will say number. So suppose you will ask in childhood times, you will ask 10 rupees. 10 is what? What is the data type? Number. So human will store all this data in where? In human brain. Because human actually try to store all the data. What is the data? Word, letter, number, and what? So a human actually has data types, and humans will always store numbers, letters, words, and decimals in their human brain. What is that? Human brain. The same way, these data types are also there in coding language. So when you write code, you have to store what? Letters, numbers, words, decimals in where? Coding brain also. Is this clear or not here? All three of you?
Clear.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now that is a difference between human language and coding language. Now I will give practical example. Okay. Okay, someone will ask you, Venkatramana Reddy, they'll ask you, okay, what is your gender? There's a question they'll ask, what is your gender? What will you tell? Male.
Male, sir.
Correct. Now what is male? Male type is called letter. Male is called what? Letter.
Letter.
Someone will ask you, what is your, okay,
Age.
Venkatramana Reddy, what is your password of your Gmail? What is the password of Gmail? How will it come? What data type will it come? Gmail password is letter, number, symbol.
Symbol.
It will combine all three combinations.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Gmail password. Letter, number, symbol.
Symbol.
It means what? A data can be combination of all three formats. It is possible in human language because humans also use this. Suppose you take your Abhinash, what is your GPay PIN number? GPay PIN number is what data type? Google
Number,
Pay
sir.
PIN number. Number. Correct? You use number. So humans actually use symbols also sometimes. If they use symbols also, we can use symbols. That's possible. Okay. Now go to the next practical demonstration. A coders, I'm telling you now, it's coding very easy. Understand these basics. So suppose you are talking to your mother or your friend or brother, anyone. Okay. Suppose this conversation is like this. What is your name? What is your age? What is your percentage? How are you? They'll ask these questions. Na? What is your name? What's your age? What is your percentage? How are you? If they ask this question, you might get a question. This is a question asked by someone here. You will give data. My name is Venki. My age is 19. My percentage is 70.1. How are you? Means I'm well. This data is stored in brain. Okay. But the question is what? Name, age, percentage. How are you? For every data, there is data type. For name, what is the data type? Word. For age, what is the data type? Number. For percentage, what is the data type? Now the question is, does all humans know data type and store in brain? Every human being knows data type and store in brain. What are Venkatramana Reddy? You
Yes,
don't
sir.
until I teach you don't know data type of human language. Yeah, he is telling he is from Whitefield only. Na? Whitefield is coming in bullet boy, but he doesn't know what is he storing. He doesn't know till now. You know what? Word.
Yes, sir.
You know what? You know you are storing word. Who told you? Now today only you know. Who told? They are in Whitefield. They told. Huh? So humans actually don't know data type. They don't know whether your mother knows data type. Yeah? She doesn't know. She will take data from a son and store in brain. But she doesn't know what. But in coding, we should know data type. In coding, if you don't know in coding, it is not proper appropriate coding. In coding, every data will have data type. For example, name type is word, age type is what? Number, percentage type is what? Decimal.
Decimal.
So if a person writes code, he should know all this. If he doesn't know this, in human it works, but in coding it doesn't work. So that is the next point. Next point example. Suppose what's your name? What is the type? Year of birth. Why year of birth word? Year of birth will come 2003 kid. 2003. 2005. 2003. So why there is symbol and number, na? Number and symbol. Number and symbol is there, na? Then why are you telling word? Number is there, na? If number and symbol is there, means then we use the word what combination? Word only. Because we don't use number and symbol, it means word only. Okay, what's your name? Word. So year of birth is like this 6/2/6/1995. This we cannot use number because symbol is there. So if symbol is there, means we have to convert this into what data type? Word only. Aadhaar card number, what is data type? Aadhaar card number. Number. Passport. Art number, you don't have passport only. Passport will be G3899. Letter will come, number will come. What Oda? Word, sir. Oda. What Oda? Word. So make sure you understand that every human. Okay, now as example, your Gmail password. Ramya at 123, na? Sita. What is your Gmail password? Ramya at 123. Ramya at 123 means what? What is the data type? It is word only. We don't consider it as At 1, 2, 3 is there, number is there, symbol is there, word also we have to consider what? Word. I am well. In WhatsApp you are talking to your Sita, na? I am well. Word. Smile symbol. What is data type? Word. Word only.
Word.
Okay. Your house door number. Word. Word only. Why? Symbol is there. Symbol is there. Yes. Your girlfriend door number? Word. That is the word only. Okay.
Word else.
He knows everything here. Here one person is there. That's why. So that is how actually coders has to know data challenge. Data challenge means what? Before understanding coding, we should know what is the data, what is the data type. What is that? If you don't know that, you cannot understand actually coding. Okay, clear now basics all of you? Okay, now I will talk about very important basics. With this, you will understand coding very easily. So you are using ice. Using ice, whom are you seeing here? Chanty boy, whom are you seeing using ice? You are seeing anyone in like this means what? Quarter range coding. Quarter range coding you are seeing. So ice is used to store humans, means what? Objects. Suppose you are, if I see you in your camera now, what will happen? I can see your faces and store in brain or not, guys?
Yes, sir.
If you turn off your camera, turn on your camera, I can see your actual face and I store the image in my brain. Yes, sir. Yes. Humans store image and data also related to objects in their memory. Memory. That's the thing. And see, for example, you are interested, curious about Venkatesh. Then you will see my photo and store in brain. After that, what will you do? You will try to collect some information about me. Correct? So that information, when you collect it, that is information. But we actually store what? Objects first. What is that? Objects. For example, in Instagram, you are seeing one photo. What are you storing in your brain? Object. Means in Instagram, you are seeing lot of uncles, na? Yes, sir. All uncles' photo, what you will do? Where you store? In the memory. But you don't know any information about that person. But you are storing object. If you come across the same object in future, will you recognize him? Yes. Because you are knowing object. But what about his name? Don't know. What about his personal details? No idea. That is the human concept. Coding is also, in coding also we use a concept called objects. What is objects? Objects is code. In coding identifies objects only. It will mainly focus on what? Objects is very important. So objects are in coding also. Objects is nothing but what? A real human, a face of a real human or a real human you are seeing. That is called what? Object. Clear or not, guys?
Clear.
Three people.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Clear.
So, I will give explanation of coding. What is coding? For example, in front of you, Abdul Kalam is sitting and you saw his face. First, what will you do? You will store his photo, copy in your brain. See, this is your brain. I put proper image. In your brain, you store photocopy of whose? And what is that you say? Abdul Kalam, India President.
President.
First you stored only photo. After that, someone asked you question. They asked you a question. Or they gave you information. They gave you Abdul Kalam, name is Abdul Kalam, country is India, position is President. Then you store this information where? In your brain. But what is the data type of this? What is the data type of this? Word. But you don't know that. But you still store in your brain. Correct or not? But in coding, if you want to write code for Abdul Kalam in coding, we should know what is the syntax of data type of Abdul Kalam. That is what? Word. We should know in coding. If you want to write a code, you should know the data type. Clear or not, guys?
Yes, sir.
So, what is exactly coding means? In front of your face, it can be your mother, sister, brother, daughter, anyone. You will have some information about that person, na? That you can write in the form of what? Code. You can write directly in the form of code. Any object. See, you don't store a photo if without an object photo in brain, you don't store data. We don't store it. See, in Instagram, we only store objects, but we don't try to collect data. We will get data. Whenever we get, what we'll do? About that same object, if data is keep on coming. You are seeing one uncle. That uncle is coming, then what will happen? So you will collect more stored data about that uncle in your brain. You are allocating a lot of memory for what? Brain. That uncle. Which uncle? Instagram uncle. So that is why you are to be very clear about the coding. Oh, hope all of you understood now, guys. Now. So basics coding clear, Hari Garu understood,
Yeah,
Hello?
okay, fine.
Okay. Abhinash understood.
Sir.
Ramanati understood.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now tell me what is it? You guess it, na? What will be the difference between human language and coding now? Guess it. Wait there. Let them tell it. What is that you guys think of the difference between human language and coding? Tell me. Hello, you three of you guys. Come on. You can do.
Human language and what is the question?
What will be the difference between coding language and human language?
Human language is a communication between two humans, and coding is the communication between a human and a machine.
We are very close, Bhaiya. So coding means what? Writing human information only in the form of what? Coding. That's it.
Code.
We are very close. Appreciate. So what is coding means what? Writing human information only in the form of coding. That is coding only. So coding is not different. Coding is what? So that is the main use case. So you can take an example of coding is what? In a human language, someone will ask you a question, hey, how are you? So you can have space in human language, but in coding, you cannot have space. Someone will ask you, what is your author number? You can have space in human language, but you cannot have space in the coding language. What is your name? In case of human language, you can have space, but in coding, we cannot have. That is a real concept of coding. This is a main idea about coding. Congratulations, guys, all of you. Now you don't know data types, but you can store any data with what? Variable. But now you learned in coding, we should know what? Data type. Without knowing data type, what will happen? You cannot store any data and you are not storing a proper data. Clear on that, guys? You have to store a proper relevant data. Don't know data type, but can store any data which has variable means not like that. So congratulations, guys. You are doing that now. Very good. Keep it up. Now, how will human communicate? Hari, how will human communicate?
Language.
Language, but
Word.
No, not code. Question and answer. What is that?
Question and answer.
Remember that. Okay, Abhinash, how will coding communicate? Variable and data. What is that?
Variable and data.
Variable and data.
Data.
So, Venkat Ramana Reddy, what all data types are there in human language?
Number,
Number, letter,
Word.
word, decimal.
Sir.
Okay. Can you name few variables that you know in real life? Can you name few variables that you daily use in your real life? Pizza, recharge, pizza, burger, recharge, idli, deadly. What are those variable names? Sambar. Sambar is data, yeah? Kundraja. So you can name any variable. Okay, any variable that you want to tell anything, you can say variable. Okay, all are variables. Okay, variable cannot have space. That remember that. Now tell me, Venkatesh 007. What is the data type? Coming to Hari, Venkatesh 007 is what data type?
Venkatesh 007 is
It is
word only.
word. Okay. Yeah. Next, Venkatramana Reddy. Stranger at Ash. Word. Because symbol is there still.
what?
Okay. Offer promo. Our Abhinash, what is offer promo? That is AZU Prima 1 2. That is what data type?
Words.
Word. Okay. Bangalore is what data type?
Word.
Okay. Object data is stored in which memory? Object data, humans will store in where? They store in where?
Brain.
Very good. So that's it here. When you know the basics of coding, you understood what is coding, what is the story behind the coding. Now clear?
Clear.
Your Your world. So now we'll talk about computer basics. Now this is going to be very interesting. So for you to begin coding or DevOps anything, you need to first understand the coding basics that you understood. Next we have to understand what? Computer basics. After the computer basics, we have to understand the DevOps basics. I'm going to tell you the next computer basics first. So computer basics means what you have to know in computer. So everybody will know in computer what is there here. Hard disk is there. RAM is there. Correct? Everyone knows in a computer what is there here. Hard disk or RAM. Can anyone tell me generally in your computer which storage you are using more? Hard disk or RAM? Hard disk. RAM? RAM you are using, hard disk. You don't know what computer. You tell it. Hard disk. You are using more RAM or hard disk? RAM. RAM, sir. RAM. You are.
RAM.
Disk you are using more, you are telling. Okay. Online, you guys here. Come on. Venkatraman Reddy, what is your answer? You are using hard disk more or RAM more?
RAM, sir.
RAM, huh?
RAM.
Okay. Generally, hard disk has so much storage. Okay. Hard disk we are using to store a lot of information. But we are more using daily means what? RAM only. What is that? Yeah. RAM is the most often used memory. Because hard disk store only files and data. But who will actually execute that code and show you is RAM. So remember that. All the files stored in where? Hard disk. The data is stored in where? File opened by what? Application, that is RAM. That is RAM is the main thing. I'll give you one more basics for you. Suppose in brain I have some data. How can I store that information? Is generally we create a text file in computer, correct? And we store about Abdul Kalam India inside what? We have a text file, and inside the text file we'll store this information or not, guys? Sir. And it means what? Now human data we are copying into which data? Hard disk, na? A text file will be stored in where? Yeah?
Yes.
Hard disk.